Ohio. To the untrained eye, it is a heartland of steady fields, careful geometry of roads and rivers, and towns with names conjuring settlers and industry.
A typical field day for one archaeologist turned into a historic adventure when he discovered an arrowhead dated nearly 13,000 years old.
The state's surface whispers of time slowed, rolling hills, peaceful streams, and cultivated plots that seem to promise certainty. Yet beneath these lands, unseen layers stir with ancient upheaval, their codes written not only by ice and fire, but by the hands and hopes of those who came before. In recent years, both literal and intellectual tremors have cast a new light onto what was always there and rarely fully noticed. A secret underworld, vast, intricate, and rewritten with each new discovery. Scientists, archaeologists, and the curious are unearthing evidence that Ohio's earth preserves chronicles of cataclysm, ingenuity, loss, and survival. Forgotten constructs, petrified jungles, fossil giants, and enigmatic artifacts reveal world upon world compacted beneath every footstep. As layers peel back, the line between fact and fable blurs. Lost civilizations surface beneath farmland. The marks of vanished seas ripple through bedrock, and stories once dismissed as legend are revealed in stone and bone. What secrets does the ground still withhold? What worlds sleep under our streets, awaiting their moment to shatter assumptions? How secure is our footing when the earth below is still shifting, still revealing, still rewriting history at every turn? What follows is a journey into Ohio's hidden world, a chapter for each revelation, leading ever further from the familiar. Be prepared to question everything you thought Ohio could be. Chapter 1. The Colossal Subterranean Construct. It began with quiet reports. Work crews near a nondescript stretch of Ohio farmland noting odd vibrations beneath their equipment, instruments measuring anomalies that no engineer could easily explain. The ground itself shifted subtly, opening a threshold not seen for generations. What emerged was confounding. Evidence of a large subterranean structure, lying deeper than any known cellar or tunnel. Archaeologists, drawn by reports and magnetic irregularities, converged on the site. Soon, they found geometric stonework that could not be dismissed as accidental. Interlinked corridors and walls hinted at designed chambers, their purpose lost to record, but clearly bearing the marks of hands. Among the stone, tools, traces of activity, and artifacts set deliberately, raising questions about how advanced Ohio's ancient societies may have been. Experts still debate the true age of the structure. Testing of embedded artifacts and mineral layers suggests a time long before written history in the region. The find stands as a testament to engineering talent now largely forgotten, and as a question: why here? Why so carefully hidden, and who originally built it? The scale and precision of the discovery challenge assumptions, opening the door to the possibility of more secrets beneath familiar ground.
Chapter 2. The Lost Heart of Newark.
Amid highways and rail lines, modern Newark moves at the pace of the present. But for many years residents exchanged stories of hidden earthworks, mounds once visible, later razed or neglected as the city grew. Eventually, radar scans and deep auger borings revealed what many believed lost forever. The Newark earthworks, once nearly forgotten, re-emerged. Massive geometric formations, circles, octagons, embankments, stretching across hundreds of acres, displaying undiminished symmetry despite centuries concealed under fill and asphalt. Archaeologists documented how some structures align with lunar and solar cycles, surviving as testaments to the Hopewell culture 2 millennia ago. Beneath these shapes, chambers and artifacts, pottery, copper effigies, remnants of ancient fires, unfolded fresh stories. The uncovering sparked not only celebration, but also debate, raising questions about ancestry, memory, and rightful stewardship. Are these earthworks sacred, scientific relics, or something both? Their reawakening prompts reflection on how landscapes and memories are woven together, and sometimes separated by the passage of time. Chapter 3. The Black Swamps Return. In northwest Ohio, a walk in some places means heavy steps through wet ground, where trunks of fallen giants lie in soil that refuses to forget its origins. Once, the Black Swamp spread over 1,500 square miles, a vast, daunting wilderness. Early European settlers found it nearly impassable, and fevers hounded those who ventured too far. Drainage and development transformed much of the swamp into farmland, but recent research into soil layers and core samples has recreated images of the ancient ecosystem. Trunks of cypress and oak, preserved deep underground in nearly oxygen-free soil, connect modern scientists to forests lost thousands of years ago, where now extinct animals roamed. Today, as climate extremes challenge Ohio's floodplains, remnant wetlands have begun to re-emerge, absorbing carbon, filtering water, and restoring habitats for rare plants and animals. Their return is more than a curiosity. These ancient wetlands may play a vital role in moderating modern environmental risks. Their story raises questions about our relationship with landscapes we thought tamed, and whether we can adapt by letting the oldest worlds breathe again. Chapter 4. The Ancient Magma Vaults. Beneath the Ohio we know, far deeper than farmland or city, lies a primal record of Earth's violent past. When geologists drilled into the oldest bedrock, they found streaks of rock scorched and fused, a sign not of layered sediment, but intense volcanic activity. Over 1 billion years ago, magma surged beneath what would become fields and towns. These ancient magma chambers, sealed within the Cincinnati Arch, contain veins of igneous minerals, similar to those in regions known for ancient volcanoes. Fossils near these old intrusions include forests turned to charcoal, spores altered beyond recognition, and even carbonized fragments of prehistoric insects. Ohio today seems removed from earthquakes or volcanoes, but the ancient bedrock tells another story. The presence of these deep vaults serves as a reminder. Even tranquil landscapes inherit the aftermath of cataclysm and record it invisibly for eons. Chapter 5. Relics of Vanished Giants. Bones relinquished by the Ohio soil remind us of a time when enormous animals roamed. In glacial till and river valleys near Dayton and Newark, paleontologists have uncovered collections of mastodon, mammoth, and ancient bison remains, beings whose scale is hard to imagine. Among the discoveries, entire mastodon skeletons, tusks still curving in the mud, and teeth worn smooth by Ice Age vegetation. Pollen grains and plant debris lodged in cracks tell of paleo environments now vanished. Sometimes nearby are traces of human activity, worked flint and charred seeds, a possible sign of early people living alongside, if not hunting, these giants. Why did these megafauna vanish? Theories point to warming climates, ecological changes, or human impact, but the exact story remains unclear. Each discovery not only illuminates Ohio's ancient past, but also challenges us to consider how fleeting dominance on the landscape can be. Chapter 6. The Abandoned Rivers Song. Beneath cities like Cincinnati, scientists have mapped a hidden riverbed, the path of the ancient Taze River, which predates the modern Ohio and Mississippi. This colossal waterway shaped valleys and deposited deep beds of sediment before glacial advances blocked and buried its channel. As glaciers redirected water flow, The Taze was dammed, filled with gravel, and replaced by new rivers, but its ghost remains, in the shape of buried channels, gravel bars, and fossil wood found far underground. The course of the modern Ohio River owes much to these buried roots, and at times, unexpected floods and groundwater patterns reflect this ancient guide. The story of the Taze reminds us, the rivers we know are not fixed, and the landscape of flowing water is layered with history far predating human settlement. Chapter 7. Serpent Mound's Coiled Mystery. On a promontory in southern Ohio, Serpent Mound extends in a spiral for more than 1,300 feet. Its purpose still a subject of intrigue. Is it a cosmic calendar? A ceremonial site? Investigations using radar and soil chemistry reveal multiple construction phases and signs of ancient fires, offering dates stretching back 2,000 years or more. Some alignments seem intentional. The serpent's head points towards the summer solstice sunset, and some curves relate to lunar cycles. Experts continue to debate exactly who built it and for what exact purpose. The mound's continued study poses questions about how prehistoric peoples understood the cosmos and how such knowledge was written into the very land. Chapter 8. Eternal Forests Beneath Coal. Deep below southeast Ohio, seams of coal record the existence of vast forests millions of years in the past. These beds preserve not only energy, but also fossil trunks, leaves and pollen from ancient club mosses, giant horsetails and towering ferns, plants long vanished from modern landscapes. By examining coal fossils, paleobotanists reconstruct environments and climates as warm and wet as any tropical jungle. Growth rings and leaf structures reveal cycles of drought and flood, while changes over time are linked to shifts in atmospheric carbon dioxide, parallels that resonate today. Far from being extinct, the story of these ancient forests is accessible in every fossil, and every insight they provide about resilience and upheaval through long stretches of geological time. Chapter 9. Vanished reefs of coral and stone. Touching Ohio's limestone quarries is like pressing a hand to the bones of coral reefs, remnants from when much of Ohio lay beneath a tropical sea. Fossils within the stone include corals, crinoids, trilobites, and the shells of ancient creatures, testifying to a time of remarkable biodiversity. Suddenly, about 360 million years ago, most of these reef-building organisms disappeared in a global extinction event. The evidence of abrupt endings, as well as new beginnings in rock layers above, gives researchers perspective on cycles of abundance and collapse. Ohio's ancient reefs are both inspiration and caution for understanding today's changing ecosystems. Chapter 10. The Cincinnati Arch's Fossil Vault. Stretching gently across southern and western Ohio, the Cincinnati Arch hides an extraordinary trove of Ordovician fossils. Within its limestone and shale lie brachiopods, trilobites, crinoids, and tiny plankton, all evidence of a marine world hard to imagine from today's hills and fields. These fossils provide scientists with snapshots of evolutionary bursts, a record of adaptation and extinction from more than 400 million years ago. Each layer captures not only past life, but also environmental changes and shifting seas, connecting the region to an era when entire continents were adrift. The fossil vault of the Cincinnati Arch is a reminder that the Earth's surface was once very different, and that buried history continues to shape the present. Chapter 11. The Shadows of Meteorite Impacts. Beneath the ridge where Serpent Mound sits, geologists have confirmed the buried remains of a meteorite impact structure, about 23 miles in diameter. Unlike the dramatic craters seen elsewhere, the Serpent Mound structure is mostly invisible beneath glacial soil, detected through seismic mapping and study of shocked minerals. This is just one of several meteorite remnants found across Ohio, where fragments such as iron meteorites or shocked quartz are rare but unmistakable. These findings offer evidence of cosmic events that reshaped the region's topography in ages past. Stories of fire from the sky, retained in both native legends and geological evidence, remind us of our planet's vulnerability to celestial events. Each new confirmed impact marker underscores the fragile boundary between calm continuity and cataclysmic change. Chapter 12. Echoes of Fire. Lost Settlements. Not all of Ohio's marks of fire are cosmic or volcanic. Excavations beneath towns and fields sometimes reveal evidence of ancient villages destroyed by fire. Burned post holes, clay floors baked to reddish hues, storage pits filled with charcoal. These layers record cycles of disaster and recovery for pre-Columbian societies. Sometimes fires were accidental, but in other cases, they may reflect conflict, ritual, or deliberate clearing, prompting new settlements to rise above the ashes. Through these markers, archaeologists read stories of resilience, communities that rebuilt, innovated, and persisted in the face of adversity. Every burned layer is a window into the lived experience of ordinary people, evidence that disaster and renewal are as old as the land itself. Chapter 13. Ohio's Caves, the secret world below. Beneath the hills and valleys of central and southern Ohio lie extensive cave systems, such as Ohio Caverns and Seneca Caverns. Formed by water-dissolving limestone over eons, these caverns are rich with stalactites, flowstone, and underground streams. Excavations sometimes yield fossils and artifacts, remains from eras when these caves were underwater, as well as potential evidence of prehistoric animal or even human visitors. While there is no proof of permanent prehistoric settlements deep within the caves, stone tools, burned bone, and evidence of short-term shelter suggest that ancient people ventured into the darkness. The creatures that inhabit these caves, bats, blind salamanders, are testimonies to the persistence and adaptability of life. Ohio's caves are among its quietest wonders, protecting secrets waiting to be understood. Chapter 14. Eerie Petroglyphs. Stone tells the story. Among Ohio's sandstone outcrops and sheltered overhangs, ancient petroglyphs survive the wear of rain and wind. Carved generations ago by indigenous Ohioans, these rock carvings depict humans, animals, and abstract symbols. Sites like Barnesville and Leo preserve panels that likely record hunting scenes, seasonal markers, or mythology. Modern conservation methods, such as digital scanning and photogrammetry, help researchers recover details at risk of being lost. While many meanings remain elusive, some elements appear to align with celestial events or migration patterns. The carvings offer visual stories created long before written language in the region, and remind us how much has faded and how much endures. As every line comes back into focus, so too does the desire to learn from those who marked the stone with their knowledge and beliefs. Chapter 15. The Reborn Swamp. Nature's Forgotten Miracle. Nature's Forgotten Miracle. Where rains settle longest, remnants of Ohio's Black Swamp pulse with life, despite generations of drainage and farming. In these low-lying tracts, scientists document a slow resurgence, wetland soils restoring, native plants and animals returning, and ancient cycles quietly re-establishing. Core samples from deep beneath the surface chart a continuous ecological story from the Ice Age thaw to recent centuries, recording the comings and goings of plants and animals, each responding to climate, water, and human change. The ongoing restoration of these swamps, led by careful management, demonstrates not only the memory of landscapes, but their remarkable capacity to recover. Their return is a wager against flood, biodiversity loss, and vanishing memory. The rejuvenated wetlands act as natural lungs, filtering water, hosting rare species, storing carbon, and anchoring stories once submerged. Chapter 16. A world still waiting. With each tremor of discovery and every spade of earth, Ohio reminds us that many chapters remain unknown. Some finds upend what textbooks assume. Others, subtle yet powerful, reshape our sense of the possible. For every mound studied or skeleton recovered from extinction, many stories slip back into the mud or remain hidden under highways or fields. What does it mean, above ground, to know so little of what lies below? Ohio sites surface after long obscurity. Rivers shift paths, and fire, born of magma or simple accident, can rewrite the fate of a community. Our own chapter is provisional. Even the solid ground keeps its secrets. Which threshold lies just beneath tomorrow's Ohio, waiting to emerge, to astound, to reshape where we stand? What mystery still sleeping below will awaken next, casting new light on what we thought we knew? We invite you to share which discovery astounded you most, or which question lingers as Ohio's ground continues to shift. Join us again as we descend further into the stories buried in plain sight, where the ground is never as solid nor as silent as we sometimes believe.